Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. I hope everybody is doing well and good. I know it is right now, Friday afternoon. Maybe some people it's the morning, some people it's the afternoon. I hope everybody's doing well. Everybody's doing well. I am doing my finished pages today, so we will start off with the PDFs. So this was a freebie that Lana Green was given in her channel, in her Facebook group the other day. Well, she was given this in Valentine's Day, so I did this in colored pencils. The first ones are always going to be pencil, so I find these. Lana Green was giving this away in her Facebook group, so was it a Facebook group or was it another group? I'm not entirely sure. It might have been the Facebook group. So I did this in colored pencils. But then the next one I did was from A Year of Fairy Tales and Fantasy by Deborah Mueller. This is, I think, one of her newer ones. It's hard to keep track of how many pages. I did this one. I did this with pretty much colors and prismas. So that's been very good. It's been a little bit busy seasons has started to pick up, so I'm probably not going to be on YouTube as much since it's going to be busy season at work. So I will try and come on as much as I can, but not that easy during this time of year to find space. Then the next one. Okay, those were pencils. Then this is an old one. This is a mermaid. Thank you, Emily. It's coloring corner. I also did this in colored pencils. I think I did this with Black Widows and colors and prismas. I really do like Black Widows a lot. This was a grayscale coloring, and who is this by? This is by Vercel Art. This is one of my older PDFs. This is called Mermaid Dreams by Vercel Art. The next one comes from Valentine's Fantasy Coloring Book by E.G. and E&G Design. They're on Etsy, so this comes from the Valentine. I have a thing for dragons and hearts. I have a thing for getting freebies off trying to get books, but I do really do like coloring things. This one, I call it the Girl with Flowers. It was a freebie from Facebook, but it had no illustrator, so I took this and I did different things on it. So the hair was done by colors. The leaves in the background were Black Widows. The skin tone was Prisma and Black Widows. The flowers were polychromos. It's really hard to imagine me not using anything but certain things. Oh, and I did finish one coloring book this month, so I am really happy about that. This one is done with markers. The rest are done with my Copic markers. When you hear markers, it means I did them with my Copics. So this one is Dramatic Beauties by Dreamworld Coloring. So you can tell when I color with markers because when I take them out of the sheets, they sometimes smell. The next one is called Luna. This is the February 2026 bonus page from Hannah Lynn. I did this with my my Copic markers and my Color It gel pens. I have Color It gel pens, which I really love those gel pens because I think they're really, sometimes things are gimmicky, but those Color It gel pens, they're not gimmicky at all. They are what they are. And this one comes from Hugs and Kisses by Shade It Your Way. This is another artist on Etsy that I have really, I have fallen in love with Shade It Your Way, Nori Art from Etsy. And then I've also fallen in love with Dreamwork Coloring, the girls who do that over on Facebook. But my two favorite Etsy artists are Nori Art and Shade It Your Way right now. And I have officially finished this coloring book. I am very proud that I have officially finished this. Yes, this is on my top 10 books to finish. As you guys can tell, the book is falling apart. And over many years, I have done this. So this has been one of my project books for about the last 4 or 5 years. I have made this into a project book, and I finally finished this month. So I finally finished this picture. A lot of you guys have been watching me as I have finished this book. So I did this one. And I did this one, which I think is quite an accomplishment to finish this one. And then some of you know I did this last month. Over the last few months, I've been really focused on this one. So I am now officially finished with this book. So and I'm not doing a finished pages video for it because it takes up a lot of space. Now the next one I did, this is called Po Drogi Strone Snu. I think when you translate that from Polish or Czech, I do not remember what is the language either. But this is from Karolina Kubakowska. I think she's a Polish author. So I think this is the original version of the book. I think it's called The Other Side of Dreams or The Other Side of Sleep was what it translates loosely to. So this is the one that I did. As some of you guys may have guessed, you're starting to see clips because the books have started to, how shall we say, the binding has started to come a little loose on them. So I did this totally in pencils. The blue is a Holbein pencil. The skin, of course, this is one double-side page. The skin is Prisma and Black Widows. The yellow is Holbein's. The hair was Black Widows. The red was Prisma's. The yellows, I think, were Holbein. So I used a couple of different pictures in this one. I really like these pictures because they're a lot of fun to do. And then the next one I did was another double page spread, but you have to look at it like this. So you guys kind of understand I did the same thing with that one. So you understand that this one was also a double page spread. But the pages have started to come loose on it, so it makes it kind of hard for me. Oh, that's okay, Pomsky friend. Who is Pomsky? Are you Corey? I can never keep up with people when they change their names over here. Or are you Michelle? So I also destashed 8 coloring books. I gave them to some friends. There were 3. I had 3 duplicate Color in Heaven magazines, and then I gave 5 other ones, but I destashed them. So I was really proud of that. Then the next one is this book, which is 300. Yay! So, Corey, your stuff should come probably on Saturday or Monday, they said. So, they, this is $300 That's okay. So, this is $300 This is also a top 10 to finish. So, I did two. I am doing this. When I do this book, I tend to fill in the gaps if I can, if there are gaps, because I start looking at this and then I'm like, oh, okay, I need to do this one. I need to do this one. But I do different ones depending on my mood. So this is the first one. And I did this on 131.25. I had actually started it last month, but didn't finish it until 131. And I finished it after I had done um, the video. So that's why that one is counted in here. So then I did this one on 210.25. I actually grabbed the wrong color on the leaves. So it was meant to be red and I grabbed the wrong color. Oh well, that's what happened there. So this is on the book to finish. So I'm probably not keeping this one when I'm done because number one, look how thick it is compared to all my other books. This thing is massively huge. It's like a big paperweight when you think about it. I did read two books this month. What did I read? Oh, well, I should say I finished two books. I finished Crimson Oat by Cassie Swendon, which was the last book I read. I still have to finish writing up my review for that because that was an advanced reader copy I got. So I still have to finish writing up a review. And then I also read The Wolf and the Crown of Blood by Elizabeth May. That was excellent, actually. Surprisingly, that was really, really good. And I really, really enjoyed it a lot. So this is Love Letter by Momo Girl. Which one? The big book, the $300? I think it's out of print, actually, believe it or not. That thing is huge. So this one I finished last night. This was officially the last picture. I did this one. This one actually was done with colors and Prismacolors, believe it or not, and polychromos. So I did this with a couple of different things: polychromos, colors, and Prismacolors. Now, here's the thing about colors. Colors, my set is the 180 set, plus I have the 50 pastels. So I had the 50 macaroon pastel pencils. I have since decreased that much. I haven't finished the set yet, but I don't think I'll get the colors again. Don't get me wrong, they're a nice pencil. They're good overall. But I just don't think I'd get them because I still like, for me, I still like coloring with my Prismas, my polys, and my Holbeins the most. Do I love my Black Widows? I would say I like my Black Widows. They're a nice compliment. So I have never done this one, and I know this one is a really, really popular one to do. I might do this one next month. I just like this one, but I've always kind of been a little afraid of this one. This is the small Momo Girl book. So someone asked me, how do you know which books you keep and which ones you don't? Problem is, the thing is, do I want to keep it? Do I have space? The third way to figure out, do I love the pictures enough to keep them? You know what I mean? It's all, or are they falling apart? Now, this is another one that is on the top 10 to finish. Yeah, I had to actually look at my list because I can't remember what my top 10 is all the time. So then I did Romantic Country Scenes by Teresa Goodrich. I finished this one and I wrote down what I used, surprisingly. Prismacolors, Luminous, my Luminous pencils, my polychromos, and my Finding the Lost Girl pencils. So I did that in those pencils. I enjoyed doing this picture so much. It's so crazy. Now this one. This is an old Korean book that I had in my closet, and I had forgotten I had it until I did some cleaning out of the book. So, when I do the seasonal, now all the Christmas, most of the winter stuff is put away. So what I did was when I did that, I found this book in the late December. So what happened was I was like, you know what, I want to color in this. This book is kind of like the other books that you see a clip in. So this has a lot of double page spreads. So the six called When I First Saw You. I don't know who the illustrator is, but I've seen a lot of people take some of the same pictures and put them in some of the cheaper books or very similar looking pictures. So this is the one that I finished. I had started this many, many years ago and don't remember what I used in it. So I'm only going to judge it by what I use going forward. So then that's this one. And then you see I have a lot of whips in this one. This is kind of probably going to take the place of fairy tales because I just missed that. I just finished that book and that one took me about a good 4 or 5 years to finish. So because it's been on the project list, but what is a project book? Means you're constantly working in it every year. So this book is probably going to be the new project book. So I actually had the hair color a little lighter, but then I realized I wanted to make it darker. So this is a whip in progress. And then I have the cactus one. Then I have the girl. So I think these actually are really good pictures. I just wish the binding on this book had been better. Will I keep this or not? No, I will not keep this. It's just too many things. Then another Creative Haven, Gnome Sweet Gnome. I love Teresa Goodrich. You guys probably have guessed that because I have a lot of her books. So this has a lot of different pictures, and you can color this any time of the year. So I did. So I did this one. I used many different colors, but what I did was I kept this flower very much like a sunflower, so I could keep it very much like a springtime picture. I liked it a lot. You could use the yellow, brown, orange. These are when I think of sunflowers, you know what I mean? And the gnome is sleeping, enjoying the barn. And to me, this just is very quintessential spring, summer, the end of winter and everything is blooming again. So I thought that was really nice. Okay, here's one that is brand new. This came into the collection. As some of you know, I have a subscription to this magazine. This is part of my subscription, so I do get one every month. So this is the newest one, and I guess it counts for Color Your Hoard for February. And this one is very much a grayscale one. This image, anyway, was very grayscale. This was Prisma's Colors, Finding the Lost Girl pencils, and Black Widows. I love my Black Widows. I even like my Finding the Lost Girl pencils. I enjoy this immensely. This one was very grayscale. As you will know, some are not as grayscale. And then you have some like this that are very much grayscale. Someone asked me, will I keep my color in heavens? Well, each issue is different, so I don't know what the answer would be to that. Okay, now we got Finding the Fragile World. I only colored in one of these. So this is also on the top 10 to finish. I also consider this a project book. Did that one? I think this was one I did last. I'm not sure if I did this one this month. And then there was the owl one. I did an owl one this month. I could have sworn I did an owl. Yes, I did this one. I was trying to do an autumn sunset. And then I did this one. This one I did last month. I'm pretty sure. I thought I had shown this, but I guess I hadn't finished it last month. These are called, oh, what are they? They're not hyenas, but they're other kinds of dogs in the wild. These are really known in Africa. I forgot what they're called, but they are as fierce a predator as lions are in Africa. So they're some kind of dogs. I think they're like wild dogs. Was The Wolf and the Crown of Blood good? That was actually really, really good, actually. This is the next one. This is Luna coloring book by Maria Trollet. I did these ones. I just think that Maria Trollet's books are really, really nice. Am I going to get her new ones? Not yet. We'll see. First, I want to work in what I have, as opposed to just keep getting new stuff in. So I'm working with what I have. This is also on the top 10 to finish. This is called Intricate Flowers by Jade Summer. I did too. So this is on my top 10 to finish. So I did this in purple and greens. This book is done completely with markers. It's not done with anything else. And as you can tell the marker really did go through on this one. So this is how you can tell the sign of a juicy marker. If it doesn't go through as much, it's not as juicy, is what I was taught. So then I wanted something with yellow and orange and green. You know, I was thinking, like somebody goes, well, those are really orange spring colors. Well, they're colors of flowers. So I don't know. I just suddenly had an itch for yellow and orange and green, since the last one I did was purple and green. So, but you can see that this one, when I do one of these take me an extremely long time to do this book. So it's not like I can just rush this book. And I'll tell you right now, this is what I have left. But this the do one takes me an incredibly long time. Yeah, it does. Now here's the next one. This one is called Between Dawn and Twilight, or Between Dawn and Dusk. It is a French, this coloring book is by a French artist called Maud Lemoyne. Some of you may know her from the Color in Heaven magazines, but she also has her own Etsy shop. So I bought this book many years ago. So I did this one. So some of you asked me, we did this one on, I think, the channel. Yeah, we did actually. This was done on Livestream. So I think it was one of my better ones. This is also another newer book. Oh no, don't tell me that. You know, you get that message and it's like, This is called Vampire Special by Ines Guerrero. A lot of you know that I enjoy Ines's books. So we did this one. This was one of the first ones I did this month. Some of you might say, well, that's because after the holidays they came out with this. So I was like, ugh. And then I did another double page spread. I should have called this the month of double page spreads. So I did this one. Oh, here is one of these older coloring books. This is from Fabiana Atanasio. This is the Alice in Wonderland coloring book. These are very old, and actually I was told these are very hard to get now. So I did this one with colored pencils. So this is a double page spread. I like how it came out. I was kind of really happy with how it came out. I used colors, prismas, polychromos, and Holbeins. So you guys can see I did a lot of different ones. Then I did from Color in Heaven. Now this is the Color in Heaven Presents magazine. This doesn't come as part of your subscription, but I got this last year. They recently came out with the 2026 one, but I looked at the pictures. I decided I didn't really like the pictures for 2026, so I'm going to go stay in this one because I like the pictures better. Then I did this one, and this one is called Awakening by Grazia Salvo. I think I mostly used Prismas, Finding the Lost Girl pencils, and Black Widows. That's what I used for that one. Sometimes you see one. Now, this was a special one that they did. This magazine's called The World's Best Coloring. This was celebrating their 10-year anniversary. So I really love this one. I love the pictures in this. Plus, they give you an assortment to color through this. And this is the one we did. And this one is called, this is Christine Karen. And she goes, this was her most popular design. So it was, I think, 10 different artists, 4 images each. So I did this one. Very different than if I would have done it otherwise. Yeah, it is a grayscale, which I normally don't color grayscale with pencils, but here's the thing. Most of the shading is done for you when you color in grayscale. Depending on the paper, I most of the time will color grayscale with marker just because it's easier. But when you do it with pencil, it's a little bit harder, I find. For me, anyway. But that's just a... But when I do grayscale on this paper, I find that the Prismas and my Holbeins work the best on this paper. I do not like the other pencils. For some reason, when I work with my other pencils on this paper and doing it in grayscale, it does not work very well. And this is also the last book in this month. I know it seems like it was I know we have one more day left, but I figure because I'm going to be busy the next few days, and since I managed to carve out a little bit of time, this is called Let's Color Magical Kingdom. This is a magazine that I got off of Barnes & Noble last year. It's by Focus Publishing, and this I got off the newsstand. So this is also one of my top 10s to finish. So I finally finished this picture. I've been working on it on and off. It's kind of like these pictures. I kind of work on and off on them. So as you guys can see, I did this and I did the girl, the strawberry fairy, as I call it. I'm calling her Strawberry Fairy because we have a whole bunch of strawberries. So I did this with a bunch of pencils. I don't even remember which ones I used, but I do like the pictures in this one. As you guys remember the mermaid? I think the mermaid was one of the first pictures I did because I think it was mermaid when I started doing this book last year. Probably do this one next. Done that one already. But I'll probably start doing this one. I know somebody's doing a fairy and fantasy color along this year. I don't remember who's doing it, but I remember seeing it somewhere. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I know I have enjoyed this video. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and stay wonderful. Stay blessed. So we will keep that open. So I hope you guys have really liked these pictures. I know it's not a lot. I didn't total up the stats yet because February isn't over yet. So I hope you love all of them. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and remember to enjoy life. Bye, everybody.